So yeah, it's lovely to see the faces, which is why I reached out and said, hey, by the way, I've been doing the circuit again. I just thought I need to reach out to you guys and have a chat. My concern was the time issue, because normally evening's a better time, but it's good having you all here at 12 in the day.
Okay.
I suppose with lockdown going on, right? I mean, hey.
I think we're good to go.
Okay, welcome everybody. My name's Yvonne Cunningham, as you know, and I'm your hostess this evening. I'm so excited to welcome you to our Helping Hands series with Zoom. I'm a national marketing director with the Juice Plus company, have been for 24 years. And of course, our Helping Hands series is to add value to the health and the community. And of course, especially during these unprecedented times, this COVID has certainly knocked us all for a loop. So I'm going to bring Mark on, and he's going to introduce our speaker today. And I'm so excited, you guys. Shay's one of my favorite people, and he knows it. So
yeah, that's awesome. Good to see you all, guys. Happy Easter to you. And just bear with me because people are still joining us, and I admit them on. So once again, happy Easter. It's a beautiful sunny day out here out west. I hope it's good wherever you guys are. And oh, let's just try and hold on a second. I'm going to mute everybody. There we go. And I can bring these guys back on later. So this is such a great time. Wishing you all well, as I said before. And today's speaker is really very special to us. He's had 31 years experience with our company and our industry, both as one of the top achievers and also as a partner in running the master distributorship in Europe, which is really, really quite incredible, actually. Shay was instrumental in our success over the years, and you know, it really has been an incredible ride. Many of you may not actually know that Shay hosted my very, very first training that I went to in Manchester, and during that time I signed up into our business after his talk. I'm not sure if Shay even knows that. And my very, very first company party that I ever went to, as you all know, we love the parties and all the fun things. But my very first one as a new sales coordinator was actually Shay's birthday party at the Manchester Airport Hotel. I remember it so well. So Shay has been a huge influence in everything that we have done. And as a result, you know, you're all here this evening, really, in some shape or form. Shay has the ability to appear and influence people at just the right time. And so I sincerely want to thank Shay for everything he's done for us over the years, and give you a really, really warm, happy Easter welcome, Mr. Shay O'Brien. And I'll just unmute you. Oh, hold on. There you go.
Yeah, that was my 27th birthday, and one of the few times I've been on a private jet. The private jet was a distributor's plane. It was a little four-seater Cessna. We flew down from London because we've been at a meeting in the morning. He said, oh, I'll fly you back. And we hit some horrible turbulence. I was with Jeff Liberman, who was the guy who was upline to Mark and downline from me. And he was petrified as this plane was going all over. Then next thing, air traffic control came on and said, plane, whatever, you've not even asked to be in this airspace. And it was a right hoot in a not a great way. And we kind of landed and then had to come to this sales coordinator meeting in Manchester at the airport. We're like an hour and a half late. So many people annoyed with us. Anyway, we had a good night, a good party and everything else. And it was actually a brilliant night. And so, yeah, so I'll tell you how it came to this call, really. I'm a shareholder with the company, and I'll tell you how I came to be a shareholder, my route to being a shareholder, which is not a normal situation. And I was checking in. So I'm an investor in businesses. I've got a venture capital firm called Bray Capital. And we have been for 10 years investing in different businesses. We've got all kinds of weird and wacky projects. I've got a flying motorbike, which I don't know if you've heard of Bear Grylls. He came to me and approached me 10 years ago, and I'm a partner of his. And it's literally a motorbike you sit on, you pull the trigger and you fly. And we're working with the Department of Defense in America. So that's one really wacky business. To a simple food business, I've got a burger, alternative to meat protein, which funny enough, we're going to end up manufacturing in Canada of all places. And we're setting up an office with a pea protein manufacturer. I don't know if you know that Canada is the best place in the world to grow peas. I never knew that. You maybe all know that already, but you have the best pea land or whatever. And so that's a business that creates like, it creates burgers that are plant-based burgers. So that's one business. Anyway, I've got all these different businesses. I've got like a fitness and health retreat spa. And it's almost like, if you imagine going and having a Juice Plus week, it's almost like that. It was devised from like a Juice Plus concept of healthy body, healthy mind, exercise, no alcohol in this retreat. You go for a week and you leave there feeling amazing. So that's a healthy retreat that I've got many, many businesses. I've got 18 different businesses. And when Corona started kicking off, there was a lot of phone calls coming my way as the investors saying, hey, listen, things are not looking good. Have you got any advice? What should we do? This, that, and the other. So at that point, I thought, I'm going to just check in with Simon Bowler, who is the sales manager of Europe, and just find out how Juice Plus was doing. And his initial reaction was, sales are very good, robust and beyond. So that's what he said. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So I was looking at all these businesses that I had part ownerships in as an investor, who were sort of phoning me with challenges, problems. I had some production issues, where productivity issues, where people were in an office then having to work from home, and it wasn't, working out. And then, my health retreat, we had to close it down completely, just put it all on freeze because no one can travel. And we still got a monthly cash burn in that. And here we have the Juice Plus business going from strength to strength. So I started doing some thinking and working out why. And number one, I don't know if you know, but the best selling product in the supermarkets, and it's not toilet roll, from a productivity point of view, is actually orange juice, OJ. Now, we all know the best orange juice you would have would be a fresh orange. But anyway, the orange juice counter has gone crazy. So that's biggest. Alternative milk's been very, very successful as well. But it's people who have become aware of their health, because as these Corona situations are happening, the big thing the press are often saying is, had health issues, had no health issues. And mostly it's been unhealthy people who've been dying. I do want to say quickly, by the way, I don't want to feel, and I'll explain why more later. It's a great time for the business now, but I also want to put my condolences to anyone that's been affected by coronavirus. And I'll tell you why I don't feel we're being opportunistic at this moment, realizing it's a great part of our future right now, because we're actually helping people. But I'll come back to that later. But anyway, so I sat down, so thinking about things. So we've got orange juice going through the roof, alternative milk's going through the roof, my healthy burger business went through the roof, and many, many other. And what it is people are out there and they are wanting to get healthier. They become aware for the first time, you need to be healthy to stand chance. You need to improve your immune system. So you've got that going on. And so number one, so there's a big demand suddenly that's come our way. Then the second part of it is working from home is what we do. This communication now, it's what we do. We've been doing this for years. So we as a home-based business, we're not moving an iota. There's nothing we're doing that's changing at all. Yes, we have the odd meeting where we're getting together, the odd conference, but it's not a big part of our business. It's about sharing, websites, it's about sharing videos, it's about Zoom, it's about talking on the phone. This is what we do. So it's no surprise, healthy product, healthy lifestyle concept, because, our healthy lifestyle concept is not just about Juice Plus, the product itself. It's the wheel around that where we educate people into living a better way, eating more fruits and vegetables, let's say drinking less alcohol, moving their body, going for walks, being mindful of themselves, having a positive mental attitude. That's what we do. That's what we teach. And which is why I feel we have to talk to as many people as possible, because that's what we do for people. And in the center of that, we have the Juice Plus family of products that absolutely make a difference to, I listened the other night, we had Mitra on a call for a UK boot camp, a Zoom boot camp, and she just went through the stuff. And it just reminded me, and we need constant reminder about how incredible our product range is. Since the Corona started, I've been doubling up on my family and myself's Juice Plus, And even one day when I actually believe I believe I had corona. That's a whole other story. And I was taking Juice Plus every hour on the hour. I didn't get tested, but anyway, that's a whole other thing. But so I was sitting down, looking at, oh, it's obvious. Of course we're going to grow. Of course we as a company are going to grow. So then I was talking to Simon on a daily basis and started tuning into the statistics. And as every day went by, our growth was actually increasing. Now, we in the Juice Plus world, the corporate company, we judge our growth by we compare to last month and this month. So we do like every day, we count how are we doing compared to last month, and we do a comparison to the same month last year. And as every day was passing, and as the lockdowns were getting more and more, and there was more countries, getting locked down and not allowing people to move, our business was expanding. Because then the other side of it as well, have you noticed how many messages you are getting on your phone? Have you noticed there's a funny joke or a comic this or a comic that coming through the phone? They're flying on my phone. I can't keep up with them. And this is because people are bored. They're stuck at home. They don't know what to do. There's a lot of fear out there about people's health, about their possible future wealth. And what do people do when they're scared? They get their phone, or they tell jokes. They try and make themselves laugh. They try and have some fun. And that's what people do. So there's a lot of fear out there, and people are bored. So for us, where we're sharing this healthy message, this is the one time when everyone will read every single email, every single thing you send them fully. Whereas when people are working in an office scenario or traveling and all the wasted time they have, not being at home, they're not. So it is a critical time, a key time for the business, and sales are expanding, sales are growing literally every day. I've been looking today, I've been talking to Paolo Teixeira, who, I don't know if you know, he's the CEO of Juice Plus. I had an hour call with him between 7 and 8 today, just to catch up, see how things are going. And it's quite unbelievable what's happening. And yet it's not unbelievable. So let me just kind of tell you my story, and then I'll come in. I want to go deeper into why now and everything else. So I was 24 years old. I was an entrepreneur at heart. A show of hand for those of you that feel you're an entrepreneur at heart. Anyone there in the audience, you feel you're a natural entrepreneur? You don't have to be a natural entrepreneur, but I felt I was. I was also very clear that I wanted to become financially independent. At the time, I was working in the City of London. I had an okay job. It wasn't as flash as that sounds, working in, let's say, the Wall Street of London equivalent. It wasn't. It was an okay job, decent wage, company car, expense account, and a nice job. But I wanted something more. I wanted to become financially independent. And a friend of mine, Gary Chamberlain, he phoned me and said, I think, and he was of the same mind, he phoned me and said, Shay, I think I found a way that we can achieve our dreams. And I kind of got a tingle down my spine. I'd not even heard any information. I was just like, hey, this sounds great. What is it? He said, I want you to come along to a meeting tomorrow. And it was February 18th, 1989. I remember that day very well. My car got towed outside the meeting. I forgot to, it was a Saturday, and I forgot to put money in the meter. My car got towed. But I went along to this meeting. And it was funny, I just knew I was there. Jay Martin came. I don't know if any of you have heard the Jay Martin watermelon story. For those of you who have, he told the watermelon story. That's another story, but I just loved this guy, Jay Martin. He just looked like a laid-back, trustworthy individual, and he looked amazing. And let me tell you, my feeling that I had as a 24-year-old about Jay Martin was so true, I can't tell you. That guy, he is just such a beautiful man. And the reason Juice Plus is such an incredible family-based company is because of this golden thread that passed from Jay Martin down through everyone, all the way through. And the good people stay, the bad people don't go. But anyway, again, I digress. So I started as a distributor. I just went crazy. I realized, I did the maths and the numbers, and someone explained, by drawing circles that, you sell a bit of product yourself, or you share, whatever, all the words were, but, it was effectively, you sell a product a little bit, you have a few customers yourself. It's not all about going and getting tons and tons and tons of customers. It's about gently acquiring customers over the period of time by sharing your story and looking for people who you feel would want to live a better way of living, etc. And then he said, and the guy said to me, and then what you do is you have to find other people that want the same. And he drew some circles. And I asked the question, and I've heard this been asked many times by many people: how many people can I have? And he said, you can have as many as you want. And my eyes grew to the size of saucers, and I knew this business was for me. So what I literally did at that time, I had this job. I don't recommend anyone does this, but I spoke to my dad, who was a managing director of the company at the time. So I was working for, not for him, but his sort of sales manager. I was in that division. And I just said to my dad, this is within maybe a week, I'm handing in my notice, I'm leaving the business. And he said, you're crazy. What are you doing? You've got this job, you've got career prospects, you're doing well, everything's going great. And I was just like, I don't know what it is, Dad. I just feel this is the right thing to do. And as I say, I don't recommend that for anyone. You start part-time and you go full-time when it's the right time. But I was this fast-thinking 24-year-old who you don't think about risk. So anyway, I kind of got my whole life, all the bits of my life that I was doing, going out, socializing, football, partying, whatever you do as a 24-year-old. And I got everything, and I literally just went, boof, just threw it all off the table. If you can imagine, like, a lot of cups and sauce on the table and just going, boom. And I was like, Juice Plus company, I surrender to you. At the time, it was called NSA. But the Juice Plus company, I surrender to you. I am giving you everything. I am just going to do this night and day until I get myself to where I want to be. And that's what I did. And it was just that I'm not saying, and I know some people just want to make $300 a month. I'm just saying, I want to get wealthy. I kind of realize if you want to get wealthy, that's what you do. You have to give it everything. And I gave it everything. And very, very quickly, I became one of the top, if not the top distributor in Europe. As Juice Plus expanded around Europe, as the Juice Plus company expanded, I went into these countries and built national marketing directors and people in different countries, and became very, very successful. Then in 1996, I was approached by the Juice Plus company. So Juice Plus had just been launched. As I say, we weren't called the Juice Plus company then, we were called NSA, National Safety Associates. But Juice Plus had just been launched. We didn't have any science. We didn't know how to market it. There was no reorder program. We just sort of, would have people sort of saying, hey, I used to have a sore knee and I've taken Juice Plus and now it's gone, but there was no credibility and the business was struggling. I had a lot of NMDs in Europe at the time within my team, and I had a level of credibility. So the company, one of their key corporate staff approached me and said, listen, the company want to do partnership situation where they will actually have a partnership with someone, like a franchise scenario, and where they will, it's called the Master Distributorship Pro Franchise Scenario, and Canada is run in this way. You don't know as a distributor, if it's Juice Plus or one of these partnerships that we have, because it's the same thing, it's the same product, it's the same computer software, it's all the same. It's just managed by a partner with Juice Plus, and they're a partner. So they asked me, did I want to do it? I said yes. I became a partner. I became the master distributor partner for UK, Holland, Ireland, Belgium, Italy, Spain. And I ran that business, and we struggled. We really, really struggled. And some days would wake up and think, what did I do? I would be on stage talking to sometimes 20 people, sometimes 5,000 people, different places in the Juice Plus world, at one of the bigger conferences. And I was telling people, this business is amazing. You can have this life that you want. You can have, you can earn whatever you want. You write your own paycheck. You decide how big your business is going to be. And you have no overheads, no staff. If you want to lie in the morning and stay in bed, you can do. If you want to, you can do what you want to do. If you want to go and move to another country, you can do. And now I'll be on stage telling people this message. And then next thing, I ended up with a corporate job because I was running the Juice Plus company in those countries. I felt like a big sack of potatoes over on my back with the pressure, with the stress. When I was a distributor, if I had a distributor came to me and said, hey, it's not quite working out, I would just say, listen, you need to work hard, you need to do this, you need to push, push, push. as the corporate guy, I couldn't do that because you can't do it as a corporate guy. You just have to sit and listen and just maybe, you know, I could be, let's say, I could be a bit stronger as a distributor, a bit more, you know, like that. I don't mean, you know, that wasn't my style. I would listen to people, but I felt I could lead better another distributor as a distributor myself, saying, listen, you know, how many meetings have you done this week? I've been out every single night working all these meetings. What have you done? So when people came with their problems, I could, you know, say, I could lead by example, put it that way. That was the best thing I'd like to say. I always led by example. I was the hardest working member of my team. You know, I always try to outperform my team. I heard Jeff Roberti say that, always outperform your team. And that's what I did. I was the top earner within my organization, within the people underneath me, and I have some big, you know, players within that. So anyway, so we then, as time went on, we got obviously new products came out. Sorry, not new products. We got new science studies came out. We had the reorder program, and Juice Plus really found its own beat. We had, I mean, one of the best bits of my job, by the way, I loved it as a master distributor. I would meet the doctors who were doing these studies, and I'd be in their meeting. I wasn't running the protocol and everything else. I just meet them because they were doing studies. If they were doing like the University of Milan, I went and met the doctor who was doing that, Dr. Bermonti. I met the guy in the UK who was the dental guy. His name slips my mind, but I would meet them. And what was interesting is this was the constant theme of the people who did the science on the Juice Plus. They always couldn't believe the results that Juice Plus had in these studies. The results they felt were too good, and quite often they wanted to go back and repeat them. And then you'd have to sort of talk with John Blair and just say, no, they're the same results we're getting everywhere else, you know, that kind of thing. And that was what I loved, because it sort of, there's one thing seeing the study, but there's nothing like talking to the doctor face to face in their office. You've got to admit, can you feel a difference I'm talking about? So that would give me more belief when I was talking about our products. But I mean, now we've got, you know, so many studies it's untrue. And there's a new study that's coming out that is even more mind-blowing than any other study we've got out at the moment. There's a couple of new studies that are incredible. So we had all these studies, the business started going well. And then the Juice Plus company said to me, listen, we'd be quite interested now in taking it back under one roof. And I said, great, I'm in. That's fine. I'm happy to do that. And I became a shareholder of the company. And then the last sort of years, I've been an investor in different businesses, and that's what I've been doing. And you know, I'm still involved in this business in terms of I speak to lots of leaders all around the world. I do conference calls, I do Zoom calls, and everything else. But the key thing I really wanted to do, this is the reason why I wanted to get on the call. And sorry, it was quite a long, drawn-out story, but I think stories are the best part of our business, and it's what you all must remember with what you do. It's your story that people buy. It's not necessarily the science, it's your emotional connection of you telling your story. The scientific studies are what backs up what you're saying, but it's your emotional story of sharing. But the big reason for this call really is just to let you know that this time, this moment we are in my opinion, and the facts are backing me up with what I'm seeing within the Juice Plus company on a worldwide basis, it is the best moment you will ever see, in my opinion, in the history of Juice Plus. And I'll tell you why. Unless we have more pandemics in the future, which might happen, and then that will match this moment. But what's happening right now in the world, we've got a couple of situations going on. There's a massive focus on health, as I mentioned before. Everyone is looking for ways to be healthy. Guess what is happening to the Juice Plus reorders that we're having? In the month of March, we shipped more Juice Plus than, I think it was our record month we shipped out in the world. So we had the biggest month of shipping Juice Plus you know, in the world, or maybe it was a joint record. Anyway, there was some, I was talking to Paolo to share it. Anyway, it was a monster month. Our reorders are literally every day just doing that, the amount of reorders that are going on. So we've got that going on. The second bit that's going on, you know, and again, with a thumbs up, how many of you are in tune with the economic downturn that is happening and about to come our ways? If you agree with that, put your thumbs up. Right? It's not good. It's not good. We will come out of it. It's not going to last forever, but it's going to. There's different levels of predictions about how deep it's going to go, and it all depends on when the lockdown starts to finish, and it all depends on when there's some kind of an injection. I was just reading an article in the FT just now about a woman who was the first one to have the injection. She was a woman from Seattle, but, on a trial basis. It depends on when that comes out. It depends on the businesses going bust all over the place. It's not going to be pretty. Now, what happens to us as a business, as an industry in this period is we have a massive amount of people who are suddenly looking for ways to secure up their livelihood, and we have a massive increase in applications and people joining our business. And guess what's happening right now? A massive, massive worldwide increase on people joining our business. Absolutely huge, a huge increase. Now, and it's not even started. This economic downturn is only just starting to bite. But what's happening is, and I think many of you will sort of will know what I'm saying here, is people are at home. What are we all doing right now? We really are taking stock of our life. We've got extra time. We're not traveling. We're kind of thinking, how is my health? What am I doing? We're trying to keep out of the fridge. I mean, that fridge, what's the attraction of that fridge right now? What is going on with that fridge? It's crazy. I've had to cut my eating down between 12 and 6 in the day. I'm doing intermittent fasting because I was eating so much. So I eat just whatever I want between 12 and 6, and that's a whole other story. But people are assessing their life, and there's lots of people making thoughts about changing their life going forward. There's a lot of people in an economic security, and they're thinking, wow, here I am, I'm age X, and I'm actually not in control of my life. And what have we got? We've got a business that they can supplement their income, so they can have at least, they can earn a $300 or $400 or $500 or $600 or $700 a month, or they can have the go at becoming financially independent if they really want to do, as I said before, throw everything off the desk and give the business full go. So it's just this time. And historically within our business, I joined the business in 1989 and in the 1989 and 1990, there was a massive financial crisis in the UK, stock market crash, housing crash, unemployment boom, everything the wrong way. Guess what happened to the business? We absolutely exploded. And in 89 and 90, that foundation of the people that joined the business just then pretty much built the whole European business. From that created a wave over several years. So that was 89 and 90. We had 50 people went NMD within 24 months of that time. We had no mobile phones, no internet, no social media, no emails. It was just picking up your big phone at home and phoning someone and saying, hey, we need to meet up, and then having to physically go and see people. No Zoom, nothing. And we had massive, massive momentum. Then you had, let's say, the financial crisis in 2008. The whole of the 2007, 2008, Germany had a good leadership base in place, but they just went through an unprecedented explosion of this business. It was huge, again, because there's people out there who are looking for an opportunity. So when you phone them up and say, hey, listen, I've got something here, an amazing product, people they will listen. The other thing that's going on right now is because people are locked in their home, they have the time to listen. The other thing that's going on is there's a lot of fear in people's minds right now of their health, of their wealth, and we come in and we can turn that negativity into a positivity. When someone comes on the Juice Plus program, the whole program, not just the products, the product being the central bit, but the whole bit of the program, which is why I don't feel opportunistic talking to every single person about Juice Plus, because they don't even have to buy Juice Plus. They can just, you know, have our health program, our eat more fruits, you know, move a bit, all the stuff that we do, drink more water, they can join that program. So with our program, we help people get healthier. And with the Juice Plus product itself, immune boosting, all the amazing great stuff, you know, that all of you know. So from that perspective, that's going on. And when you say to people, listen, would you like to join our business right now? We are one of the business that is going through the roof. Most businesses are not going through the roof. Most businesses are collapsing right now in sales. You know, that's what's happening. What's happening. The big thing we all know is supermarkets, boof, going huge. Supermarkets have been doing well. Why? Because we all eat every day. Tesco, a big chain in the UK, they did 30% more sales in the last whatever, you know, in the last period, the last first quarter of this year. Huge sales. Some of those sales with the supermarkets, a lot of it was panic buying, so it will calm down a little bit. But supermarkets as a business have been doing very well. Zoom, the platform we're on now, their shares have quadrupled in this period. So there's businesses that have been, let's say, waterproof to the problems out there. We are one of them. Juice Plus is one of those businesses. So we're not just saying to people, hey, join a business. We're saying, no, join a business that right now is going through the roof, a business that people want our product. The other piece is that people are at home. So they are, let's call it, I don't want to call it a sitting target as such, but you know, they have time. They're not out in bars. They're not out doing things. They're at home. So all of these three things together is why right now there's never been a better time. And it's why, and also, and I'm not just giving you a concept. If I told you this 8 weeks ago of what's coming, it would have been a concept. I'm not telling you a concept. I'm actually telling you of what is happening right now with the Juice Plus company all over the world. You know, every single country is seeing these same things. But I wasn't, it was March 23rd when I made the call to Simon, when I was really, things were starting to get locked. No, so March 18th, I think it was. Yeah, anyway, it was mid-end of March, about 3-4 weeks ago anyway, when I suddenly tuned into the fact that actually this thing, the timing is quite incredible. And then I started doing all the research. I started doing all the numbers. I get literally numbers every day. I mean, I'm just going to sort of show you the type of, you know, all the stuff I get. I don't know if you can see that, but I get all, you know, I get that kind of data on, you know, on the Juice Plus business going through it. It's all the actual individual stuff. But, you know, this is the time right now to, you know, to fully grasp this with both hands. It's not a time to be sat on the fence. And, you know, just like, let's say I did in 1989, I saw this opportunity and I pushed everything to one side and said, give me everything. And that is my recommendation to you now is you won't get an opportunity like this right now, again, where people want a product, people are at home, they're full of fear, we can change their mental state, they want to hear from us, they want to get healthier. That is what's going on right now in this time. And I would just really think about what you're going to do with your part. You know, in these down periods, this is the time where people have exploded their business, and this is what's going to go on right now. But you have to be alive to the fact that now is the time. And in the middle of March, I wasn't alive to it. I did hear, oh, it's a great time for the business, you know, and it was like, yeah, and everything else. But I didn't fully understand the real amazing time. And as every lockdown has come in, the business has expanded more. So that's interesting, isn't it? As the world has closed down, we have grown more. So, you know, this lockdown period is what I would call the cream of the cream of the cream time, right? This is the super cream time right now. after lockdown is finished, it's still going to be an incredible time because Corona is not just going to go away. People are in tune with their health more. The financial disaster is about to hit. And by the way, we will come out of the financial disaster. So don't be, 2021, things will come back. But 2020 is not going to be a good year. There'll be huge redundancies. And there will be, in 2 or 3 years, there will be people who you will never even heard of at this time, who in this period now will have built absolutely monolithic businesses because they just joined at this time. They didn't even know. Maybe they're joining tomorrow, and they were like, I'm going to give it everything. And it's so fertile, this soil, if you want to call it soil being the market, it's so fertile. You just can just chuck a load of seeds out there and they'll all grow. That is this time. And, I want to reach out to all of you, and I want you to recognize this moment. And I would say use this moment to really build, and this is your best chance of building a quick, fast business like you've never had before. 1 hour now is like 5 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours last year, or maybe in 21 or 2022. That is absolutely, I know people used to say to me in 93 and 94, oh yeah, but you joined in 1989 during the recession. It must have been so much easier to build then. And in truth, yeah, it was. There were still people who joined in 93 and 94 and 95 and 96 who went NMD, but there was just that explosive growth. Now, what's interesting, in a time of recession, there's less interest normally in a product because people are saving money, but there's more interest in an opportunity like this. In a time of where business is flourishing, where the world is doing well, there's more interest. It's easier to sell the product, and there's less interest by comparison in the opportunity. Of course, there's interest in both markets, but this time is where you have an interest in both. Everyone wants to know about the product, and everyone wants to know about the opportunity. And on top of that, everyone's locked down at home and full of fear. And here we are with a message to effectively turn everything around. Now, my story, before I came for lockdown, I was living in Geneva. I've got a house in Ibiza, and we've got a lot of land here around the house. And I decided lockdown was coming. I want to be out here. So the night before I came, I called a friend and said, hey, listen, I'll be out of town for a while, at least 2 or 3 weeks. I can see it's going to be 2 or 3 months now. I said, come over for a bottle of wine. So we came over. We ended up not opening 1 bottle of wine, but opening 2. He ended up having to get an Uber home. But we sat there, and the whole night he was coughing. He kept coughing. The whole night was coughing. And I was thinking, oh, he's not got bloody coronavirus. Anyway, he kept saying, don't worry, it's not corona. Don't worry, it's not corona. And I was thinking, well, how does he know it's not corona? Anyway, so that was that. So, and when it arrived, we'd done the elbow sort of hello as we were doing then. Like nowadays, we're all keeping 6 feet distance, but that's what we did. Anyway, as he was leaving to get his Uber, he said, oh, stuff all that distance, give me a hug. So I went in for a hug, and I remember he's also, I'm 6'8" and he's about 6'5", whatever. And I remember when I went in for the hug, kind of our heads were this close, and our mouths were passing as I went in to give him a proper sort of bear hug. I remember thinking, I hope you've not got corona, because I've just been 3 inches from your mouth. Anyway, that was that. And he left. 3 or 4 days later, I started feeling a bit rough when I was out here. I started feeling a bit headachy and a bit sore throaty and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, next thing, a couple of days, I wasn't well. I had to have a few lie downs and all of that. Anyway, a couple of days later, he phoned me and goes, you're never going to guess what? I've just tested positive for coronavirus. And I'm just like, I cannot believe this. I know I've got it. So anyway, I go to bed that night, and of course, the mind starts playing havoc. I don't sleep all night. I'm up from 3 till 5:30. I'm online. I'm looking at all of the statistics. I'm going through every statistic you can think of. And my mind goes to, what happens if it's mostly ill people that are dying. It's mostly old people that are dying. But what happens if I'm one of the ones that die? And that's where my mind went to. It went straight to the negative, not to all the positive. It went straight to the negative. I woke up the next day and I just said to the missus, I said, I've got corona and I'm really nervous. Anyway, she gave me a stern talking to and said, go for a walk and get your head together. So I went for a walk around the lane, I pulled myself together, and I'm like, you know what? I'm healthy. I'm mostly vegan. I eat Juice Plus. I meditate. I do yoga every day. I'm a positive thinker. I wasn't that night. I'm fine, right? And I never had a doubt since then. I never had a doubt. Whether I had it or whether I didn't, I don't know. But I literally got my head on it. I'm fine. Started taking Juice Plus every hour. That's that, and distancing myself. She was insisting that I didn't have it, and I'm just being a wimp. Anyway, doesn't matter whether I had it or not. The point is, I felt real fear. I touched fear. 100% touch fear. I know what it's like. It didn't last long, and there are people out there in the market that are feeling fearful. And when you speak to them about your Juice Plus health package, which is the health story and the product, you can turn their fear around. And that's what we do for people when we communicate with them. We turn their fear around. They don't have to buy the product, but just tell them, hey, I'm just telling you because I love you. I want you to take my product, but just take this lifestyle, which is an immune boosting lifestyle. And if you take my product, it's great for you. So that's why I think we have to talk to everyone. You know, you have to get out there to everyone right now. And I do feel I've had corona. I will have the antibody test. This is not a corona testimonial I'm giving you now. I'm just saying I think I had it, but who knows? I hugged a guy who had corona. I nearly kissed him. I was with him for 5 hours, right next to me, drinking things, tasting glasses, you name it. Doesn't matter. But if I did have corona, and I'll find out with an antibody test, whenever that is Juice Plus. I mean, I sailed through it. Honestly, I didn't have severe, I sailed through it. Who knows? I don't know. Some people have no symptoms. Some people have heavy symptoms. Who knows? But the point is, mentally knowing I had the Juice Plus, mentally knowing I was doing all of the right things, I never had a millimeter of concern apart from that initial thing. And that's what we are spreading. And then you've got the other people that don't know if they're going back to a job or don't know if they'll be made redundant when they go out of this. So they'll be there waiting for you. So that again is why we have to let everyone know, friend, family member, whoever, person you know in your contact list, on your Facebook friend list, I've got something that's so timely, so right. So right now, give me a call. If you're feeling fearful about your health or you're feeling fearful about the job, I might have something that could be of interest. That's the message you have to have. And you will turn people from fear to feeling abundant with themselves. And what's interesting, when you change, there's a lot of people out there who are unhealthy who are now wanting to become healthy, but they don't know how to. So when you go out there and you put them on the road to health, the first day they take their capsules, they're drinking their water, they're already feeling in a different mindset. And a negative mindset is absolutely shown to suppress the immune system. A positive mindset is to boost the immune system. So that is another piece of the pie we are doing for people by sharing with them our business, our product story and our business story. If suddenly I think, hey, I can start this business and actually gain control of my future, and they're starting in the golden time. So if they start right now, and in that first rush when someone joins the business is when they have that excitement, the enthusiasm, is when they talk to everyone, and they're going to be talking to everyone in a ready and ripe and better ever market than I believe there has been ever in 31 years. And we're seeing that with our sales. We're seeing that with what's going on. So it's a really key time right now. And that's why I've been sharing the story with the leaders across Europe, and I've been doing this pretty much the same talk. It's never the same because I'm just talking from the heart now, but it's basically the same sort of story I'm telling. And I'm just telling everyone because I want everyone to know, if you're not aware, that's the message here. If you are not aware, and I wasn't aware a month ago, there's no better time right now. And now I've been studying the numbers and everything else. Yeah, I see it. I mean, Juice Plus, the company, we're every month we're just going ching, 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 ching. And as a company, as a company, you're not growing every month. You're growing up and down. Generally, you have growth. We have some not so good years. Well, like the stock market, we have some growth, like a bull market, and then you have the odd year that's not so great. But overall, the Juice Plus company, the long-term scenario is, that's where we're going as a company over the 30 years I've been involved, with a few, dips here and there. But right now, every single month, we're just growing. Boom, 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 boom. It's unbelievable. So that's my point. I think really I can wrap it up there. It's just that I would reach out to every distributor that's in your organization that's maybe been asleep and just let them know, listen, I just want to let you know that this is the boom time for this business. Don't get bogged down. I don't want to start spending lots of time with people that might have gone to sleep in the business. I'll just give them one call. I don't want you to spend all your time, because often people who've left the business can be draining of your energy. I actually want you to be talking to new people, but it's just worth reminding some people. I've had a few NMDs who have been asleep for quite some time, who have phoned me or messaged me after I've done this little talk I've given you now, saying, wow, I'm ready to go. I have been thinking about it and I'm seeing what's happening and I want to get started again. We've had lots of re-emerging distributors who've suddenly become alive again. So just, be aware, this is cream of the cream time while the lockdown is on. It will still be cream time when the lockdown finishes and for the rest of 2020. But the more of this time you work right now where there is a lockdown, you can build the basis of a brand new network, a foundation of a brand new company that can literally change your life forever going forward with this business. Absolutely. Now is the time. There's never been a better time right now than to build your Juice Plus business and to build customers. Never, ever, ever in the history that I've been involved for 31 years. So thank you for your time. I hope that was giving you some food for thought. And just, as my recommendation, just as I did with my desk, clear your desk, get your business head on and get out there, and you're going to find a very, very buoyant market. For those of you who have already been out there, you'll know everything I say, how buoyant it is. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for your time, taking your time out in the middle of the day. I really appreciate it. And over to you, Mark, really.
Yeah, just
thanks, Shay. That was great.
Shay, is that if you could sort of take a snapshot of a distributor of the key characters or things that they should be doing, income producing activities or whatever, just key bullet points that you've seen that successful people have either mastered, learned, or already had throughout the years that you've been working with all different distributors.
I mean, firstly, it depends on what you want. So you've all got to decide what it is I want for the business and make that decision. But a lot of it is about tenacity. Most people will not buy the product at the first message. They'll think about it. So you have to go back and go back and ask them once or twice. Even though I'm saying it's a fertile market out there, don't think you're just going to call 20 people and they're all going to go, oh, I want the product, or I want the business. It means it's more ready for that. It's tenacity, it's focus, it's discipline. I heard a woman in the UK, super successful. She's been in the business 5-6 years, one of the sort of fastest growing distributors in the UK. And she said, I don't believe in motivation, I believe in discipline. I love that, because she just said, sometimes I don't feel motivated, but I'm disciplined. So I think there's a level of discipline is required. Right now, I would really give it a good push right now, because momentum is something that builds. And with momentum, when things are going well, it creates more momentum. So I would also suggest really get stuck in now, because that momentum will create more momentum. And as the business is growing, as I've seen the Juice Plus business grow every day over the last month, my story has almost blossomed as well. I've been talking to more distributors because I'm saying, guys, now I'm sending message out saying, now is the time, do it now. And, I had one woman, she's the #1 earner in Europe right now, Julia Kraftchick. She's in the downline of my business. and I'm not a distributor anymore, but of the business I built, because that was I let that go when I became a shareholder of the business. She's the #1 earner. In March, she signed up 23 personal customers. She signed up 13 distributors, and she had a whole series of promotions within a business. And she's a big leader. She's very busy. She does about 10 Zoom calls a day, and that's what she did herself. So she's just all out massive action. And her group is exploding at the moment like nobody's business, because she's leading from the front. And she's saying, hey guys, I'm not going to tell you all to sponsor. I'm going to do it myself. So another characteristic, Mark, is leading from the front. Don't tell people what to do. Show them what you've done, and lead by the example.
That's excellent, Shay. And you always taught me that building for the next event was the most important thing. Could I ask you your thoughts on, we've got this new Juice Plus Live home, which has never happened before. It's new. Perhaps your thoughts on that, and how head office and Paolo and all those guys are feeling about that, and what you think this will do for all of us.
And is it like a conference, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Phoenix conference and making it live streaming 2 weekends.
Yeah. So I've got two really interesting stories actually, and I was phoning Italy, some of the leaders today. So John Holowati, who is one of the big success stories of the UK, I love his story. He was a fitness trainer. He had big vision, big goals, just could not get the business off the ground. 2 years into the business, he was still making £200 a month. And he was a fitness trainer. That's all he was making. And yet he had this, I want to do this, I want to do everything else. And he'd just been unlucky in the people it sponsored. He just sponsored people that didn't have his desire. Suddenly he gets a good run of, and he was sponsoring, he was continuing doing the work. Suddenly he has a good level of sponsoring people, and it just goes ballistic. It just goes crazy. And he ends up, I think 2 years later, #1 earner in Europe at that time. And there's always a different number. Every year you always have a new #1 because there's different businesses growing. And but anyway, he did an incredible meeting a week last Friday, and I did the talk I've just done just now on that call, and you had Mitra on there as well. It is unbelievably powerful, and it's absolutely no doubt about it, as powerful as going to an event. It's so powerful and so much results. And he had 2,000 people on there in his call. He had 1,000 people on the Zoom, and then they worked out they had roughly 1,000 of the people streaming in, as Mark's doing today as well through Facebook. And then we had Marina, who is and very successful. He had 5 hours on there. He kept going till 2 in the morning, and still had 500 people on there at 2 in the morning. They had a DJ on there. They were making it fun. It was a pajama party. You had to turn up in your pajamas. They had them breaks for your Juice Plus. You had to come back and have your Juice Plus shake. It was great. And Marina Tortosa, she's one of the top earners in Europe as well. She did one in Spain. They had 1,500 people again. And and what I didn't say is we looked at the numbers after the meeting, and the spike in activity in terms of people signing up and people sponsoring, huge, to the point where the Italian guys haven't done one yet. And I was just on the phone today and talking to some of the guys and setting up a call, and also talking to the sales manager saying, listen, I've just been studying the numbers today. It's unbelievable. You kind of think, I remember hearing Zoom was the big thing when I was kind of far from the business. It totally captures it. It totally captures it. I mean, I don't want to blow my own trumpet. Do you wish you had 2 guests on the call tonight? Do you think we might have maybe sponsored one of the 2 of them? Possibly. There's a possibility, right? So that's the point. So get the people on the call. It's really good. The key is obviously kind of shorter spots, because it's a longer period. So they're hearing lots of different people. But I can't stress enough the power to your business of that event. It will absolutely work. Promote it like crazy. Mark, you and Yvonne are amazing promoters of events, and I believe it's what's taken you to 100 Club. I would say that's your best attribute. If I was to give you an attribute of the business, I think that's where you lead by example the most. is your promotion of events. And you and Yvonne, you're unbelievable. You're so good at doing it. And even here you are tonight, you got your question to make sure I promote the event. And I can categorically tell you it's a winner.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me, Shay?
Yeah.
I've just got one question for you, and thanks so much for tonight. You just had us mesmerized, of course. New markets. You've been in the business long enough. You've opened up a lot of business in new countries. We're about to go into into Mexico and then on to South America right away. Could you maybe just share with everybody here on the line tonight and listening on Facebook, just what your feelings are about going into a new market, and really, what do they need to know? What do they need to do?
So I love it. I love a new market. I get very excited, the sort of, let's say, call it virgin territory. And because I tell you why I get excited is because the people in there that you're sponsoring, they love the fact that they are the first. You say, hey, you're the first, you're the people. So they get more revved up. So again, like I'm saying about this moment now, is a special moment in a positive way for business building. A new market is like that. And actually, that is one particular time in that window, in that first year, in that market. It again is very fertile land. Again, not everyone you talk to is going to be interested. Usual stuff. You know, you have to talk to 10 people, you have to kiss 9 frogs to get one interested. But people do get particularly excited in a new market. And I was having a conversation again with Paolo Teixeira tonight about new markets, saying, you know, just how exciting it is for the company. And so, yeah, I would pay very good attention to people, I would find out, who do you know that has got Mexican contacts, for example, or any of the markets we're opening up. Mexico will be massive. It's a very, very, very successful direct sales market. The Juice Plus is under, let's say, the direct sales banner, where we are, directly contacting the end user customer. So we're under let's say, the direct sales. The DSA administration, we would be categorized as that style of business. And Mexico is hugely successful. Again, you could easily end up with, you sponsor one person, you end up with a bigger business in Mexico than you have in your own country. It does happen. That does happen. I particularly went country to country and opened up new countries and ended up with NMDs, national marketing directors, top position in all these different countries, because I was in my 20s, I didn't have any ties. But also now with Zoom and modern technology, you can build in Mexico right here in Canada. We don't need to move anymore. We can do everything in this format. So I love new markets. I love them to bits. I love them. I love them. I love them. Do it. Yeah, do it. I love them. I'm so, again, like I'm so passionate about this moment now, in this Corona time, new markets, I get so excited about them because they just go. It just goes whoosh, I mean, I hate to use a forest fire analogy because you're in Canada and everything else, but it does do that. It has a tendency to do that.
One thing you've always taught us is about connection and connecting with people and really coming from your heart. And I want to thank you tonight because you've always done that with Mark and I, and you've always done that with all of our team whenever we've gotten together. So thank you so much, Shay, for just being with us. We certainly love you and we miss you.
I've got a special connection with lots of your team. You know that. We've had so many special dinners and I've got a really, really, a great connection, and I was saddened, to sort of, when we lose members of the team, I don't want to go into too much of that now, but, I really have got a special affinity with you guys. And, I knew Mark when he was a whipsnapper 20-odd-year-old trying to make his way to the top, and, all hats, because, you guys said you've had sort of various help from me over the years. Yeah, you've had a little small gust of wind from me, but you guys did it yourself on your own. You built that with your own, sleeves rolled up and said, right, let me out of Canada. And you've done it all on your own with incredible leadership and taking that responsibility and leading by example. And so, good on you. And that's why I always love helping, which is why I reached out and said, I didn't want to beg to speak to you, but I was really hoping you would say yes, because I really wanted to share this message. I was like, can I speak for you, please?
Thank you so much, Shay. Go ahead, Mark.
Everybody, just to let you know, we did live stream it to the team Facebook page, so it's there as effectively as a recording, so you can go back and listen to it again, and then obviously good excuse to get new people onto that team page as well, of course. So from me, Shay, thanks so much. Happy Easter. And I'm sure it's wonderful being in lockdown in Ibiza, Spain. Not too shabby. And
no, it's good. It's good, actually. We've got our pigs here. Maybe I can just, let me see if I can just, let me see if just before I go, let me share my pride and joy. Where are they? Where are they? Let's see if I can, this is my little piggies. Can you see that? That's my little piggy.
Oh, you're serious? Yeah. I thought you were going to show us your family.
Yeah. No, that's my little piggies there. Forget the kids. They're annoying. That's my piggies. We have so much time with the pigs. We're taking for walks around the land, and they're a lot of fun. So no, loving being here in Ibiza, and but I'm loving working the business right now. It's such a great time because I feel Damien Brennan, NMD in Ireland, one of his points he said is we have a responsibility to share this Juice Plus message with people. So don't feel, someone said, oh, we're not being opportunistic. And I had to think about it. I thought, okay, I said, I don't believe so. But I said, I'll come back to that one. And then, no, I don't. I feel we have to get out there and tell people, guys, we can help you with your health. And as he said, as you said, we have a responsibility to share our story. So go out and do it, guys. Yeah. So thanks again for giving me 1 hour and 4 minutes and 15 seconds of your time.
We're just going to close the call here. If everybody could maybe unmute and thank Shay.
Thank you, Shay. It was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shay. That was awesome. Thank you, Shay.